Backwoods Reviews. We're going to be restoring a Remington 511 Scoremaster using Birchwood Casey's Perma Blue 3-step process. You want to go ahead and break down the gun and get your barrel out. I've already done that. It's got 3 different steps. A few of the steps you're going to want to use gloves. First step is the greasing. Second step's the rust and blue remover, and then the final steps will be the Perma Blue. You're going to take your degreaser here. You're going to put a little bit on here on this foam pad that they give you and wipe it down nice and good. They give you a decent amount in here. You're going to be using some on just about each step until the Perma Blue. You want to take that and you want to wipe this down nice and good. Get all the grease and dirt and everything off of it. This gun was actually handed down to me by my grandfather. It was his grandmother's. So it's been in the family a pretty good time. I figured I'd restore it and take it over there and show them how it looks after I'm done. You can see all the suds forming up on this gun. You can tell it's pretty dirty. It's sat a while. I did already do a little bit of sanding on it and using the steel wool just to see how long it's really going to take. But you want to wipe it down real good. I got me some water in a bucket in here so I don't have to keep going back and forth to the sink and interrupting the video and everything. You get that on, wipe down real good. Probably do this video in a few different steps. Start off with the barrel and then I'll flip it over to the other end because I'm going to be holding this in mainly. Bottom half right here was covered by the stock, so it's not really affected too much by the rust and everything. Alright, I'm going to get my cup here. Fill it up with a little bit of water. Go ahead and just pour it on here. Wash all that off. Now they do send you one cleaning paper towel with it, but I went ahead and brought me some in here, and I got me a towel here on the table. Let's set that right there. Paper towel. This step, you really don't have to use the gloves, but the next 2 steps, I'd recommend using gloves, especially the Perma Blue step, just so you don't get your fingers, all the oil from it to the barrel, and then Perma Blue won't stick as good then. But you want to wipe it down nice, get everything off of there, get it dried off real good. You can just tell it's pretty dirty. They do also send you a little bit of sandpaper. I have some of my own also, a little bit finer grit. Keep it real shiny. But you can tell already, this one didn't really have a whole lot of rust. It's got few different spots, but you can tell where I sanded already and cleaned it up a little bit. Alright. Now the next step, it's going to be blue and rust remover. Takes all the old blue, everything else off of the gun. In that step, I do recommend you use gloves. And if you're inside, maybe have a fan going because it's pretty strong stuff. You're going to set that on there and let it sit for about 2 minutes. Let it work in. So I'll probably set it on top of the bucket here, just so it's not sitting right directly on a towel. Take that and take this. With that, I'll pop a little bit bigger hole than the degreaser so I could just dip it down on in there. And you're going to rub it in pretty nice. get it on there good so to do its work. I can also roll it around on this bucket and not worry about it coming back off and drying off on that towel down there. I'll put this up here and I'm going to let it sit, and I'm going to come on back. Alright, we've let that sit on there about 2 minutes. We're going to go ahead and take our steel wool here. We're going to take and just rub this gun down since that glue and rust remover's been sitting in there and it's worked its way in. Just going to take and polish this gun down and try to get all the discoloration off of there. It might take a few times doing this, washing it back off after each time and tearing off all the old rust and dirt. But you want to get a nice shine to it, clear and even. If it has some deep pitting, like I said, take the sandpaper and you want to go over it with that and get all the deep pitting off and take and wash it down again. Be nice and thorough with this steel wool and just get all that old rust off there. I'll make sure to speed up most of this in the video so y'all don't have to watch all of this. With this glue and rust remover, it does wonders. It does work very good. It's taken off a lot more than what I've done just with the emery cloth and the sandpaper by itself. If you let that sit in there a while, it works wonders. It takes this right off. But there is some thicker spots up here that might need a little bit of help with some sandpaper, but that's fine. My table is a little shaky, but it's just something I threw up as a get by until I finish building my proper table. Make sure you take your time around these sites, and I'm a little bit more picky about how my stuff is, so I'm going to make sure to take my time and get it all cleaned up real nice. Right here on the end is going to be a little bit harder and don't give you much room to work it in. No problem with that. The rest of it does look pretty good. I recommend something a little bit thicker than these disposable gloves right here, because they are just all over the place. Alright, we'll go ahead and do a little cleaner step. Clean it back on off. I'll go ahead and just rinse it real quick, and then I'll do some cleaner on it. Put most of my water back out. Now there is a little lump in here I have it set on, so it's not just sticking down in the water, but it's going to be getting wet anyway. Alright, set it back up here. Now, I do have a few sets of these gloves because I knew they were going to be pretty bad to work with, but it's alright. Now you can use the same pad or get you a different one, but I'm just going to use a different side on this one. And then work this back on through, cleaning it all the way back off. The ends and up here around the front sights is probably going to be the worst part, and then hardest on getting everything off. But it will all come off between that glue and rust remover and then the sandpaper and steel wool. And it should be good enough. Just set that back in that corner. Grab a little bit more water here. A little bit more. Alright. Take it back out. Do another dry off. Now you can tell already how much shinier it is through the center of the barrel. I didn't really work too much in the back or the very front, but I'll do a little bit more of that here shortly. Alright, you can check that out. You can see it's taken off a good bit of the rust and the old blue already. Still got a good bit to go, but it's a work in progress. Alright, now we're going to start on a section of the Perma glue. I'm going to take you a fresh swab and grab your Perma glue. It's best to do this piece out in sections because you only want to let it sit on there from 30 to 60 seconds and then rinse it off. So you don't want to do a whole lot at one time. I'm going to go ahead and get me a little water ready to rinse it. Have it sitting up here. You want to get you a little bit on there. Take it and rub it down just a little bit. Sit on there. You want to go ahead and rinse it off pretty thoroughly. Dry it off. Rinsing it off will stop the chemical reaction. You don't want to touch any part you're about to do with your hands, because that will mess it up. If it looks discolored or anything, or not even right now, that's alright, because you can go over it and do more coats. Even it all out. The more coats you do, the darker it'll get, and so on. Alright guys, I'm going to try to give y'all a better look at the Perma glue process. This is coming along very nice. I've got most of the spots straightened up. You can't even tell where I started and stopped. There's a few spots at the end I do need to get a little bit darker. but for the first time doing this, it's not a bad job, I don't think. The Birchwood Casey product is actually fairly simple to use. So let's get started a little bit more. I'll go ahead and wipe it down again since I have been picking it up and touching it. Getting a little bit of water on my sponge pad. Probably not in the video too good right here, but I'll try to do what I can. Put you a little bit more of that degreaser on here. You want to go ahead and wipe it all down everywhere you're about to use that perma glue at. I've pretty much almost done the whole barrel. I haven't done the upper up here where the bolt carrier group and everything goes, but I still need to do a little bit of polishing up there before I can. You can get everything nice and clean. You can get a little bit of water. Go ahead and wash it off. Try to hold it this way so I can wash it all at once instead of a little bit at a time like I've been doing. This will get most of it off, and then I can wipe it off with a damp rag. It's a lot easier to do it in the bathtub or anything like that, but it's a lot harder to video in there and video to where y'all can see it good and everything. Wipe this down with my damp rag. Dry it off, so get it nice and dry before you put that perma glue on there. You can tell it's coming out very nice. No streaks, no runs. That steel wool, it'll clean it right on up, and you can't even tell where one ends and one begins. But it's a time-consuming process, and you just got to work with it. All right. Gonna dry my bucket off. In case there's some water up here. I actually set this on this end. Got enough water in it now that it won't really tip over when I set the heavier end on this side. Take this. I'm probably just going to do about this end down just because I need to work on the end down here. So I'm going to go ahead and do some smooth, even strips. Best way to do it. All the way up and down. And it's gonna slowly darken as you do it. Then you just work that steel wool on it, and it'll lighten it up some, and then it'll take this spot wherever I'm starting at, because it's gonna be darker down here than the rest now. You just take that steel wool and you'll clean it on up. And it'll match right on up. I go around it a few times trying to do the same amount of strokes for each one. That's probably good right there. You can get your water again. Have it ready. You don't want to leave this stuff on there too long. Alright, we'll go ahead and wash it off now. Alright. Go ahead and damp this cloth. Paper towel. And then wipe it down nice. Make sure if there's any that didn't sit into the barrel, make sure you get it off. Get it all wiped down good. Go ahead and use a little bit of this degreaser and you can get most of the rest of it off. Clean it up real nice. Get all that degreaser off of there. You can see how much that's darkened up a lot from the rest now, and you can see I've got streaks and spots. But all that will come right back out with the help of that steel wool. Right. I'll take this steel wool. You don't really need a lot of pressure. I usually just let the barrel do the work and just slide it back and forth as I'm rolling the barrel. It'll even on out. I just needed the end down here a little bit darker. I didn't really get a good coat on it with the sight down here. You can knock the sight out. It's got a little dovetail in there. But I figured I'd be able to work around it and still be able to get it to look pretty nice without having the trouble of knocking it out. It's really not too hard. Just work on that. It looks like it's about even. A little bit at the end down here. It's going to be a pain in the neck kind of get to. It's alright, you just got to have a little bit of patience. Patience is the key. Alright, let's take a look at that. You're going to go ahead and wash it off again, which is foam pad with the degreaser on it. Get all that dust back off of there. I've got more on my hands than on the gun. Took me another damp rag and just wash all this degreaser off of here. Like I said, everybody else has their own way to do it. I just felt this was the easiest way I could video and show y'all without going back and forth to the bathroom. Got a little bit better lighting in this room and everything. Go ahead and dry it off now. And take a look at it. See how even we got it. If you like this video or it helped you out anyway, just drop a like down there and subscribe to my channel, and we'll get some more posted for you.